Well, now, the business of philanthropy has a new innovative model. My next guest calls it a bold corrective measure. It proposes to encourage increased private contributions by matching those donations from government development aid budgets. Taxpayers will also be invited to make donations. The target is to raise $100 billion a year, called the model. It's the brainchild of Nobel Prize-winning economist Sir James Mirrlees and the founder of the Fortune Forum, Renu Mehta. And I'm delighted to say she joins me now. Thank you so much for coming in to talk to us.
Thank you.
Explain to me a little bit about how this model works and what it is.
Well, first of all, we have these huge problems. Restoring environmental disorder and eradicating poverty are two of the greatest challenges that we face in modern times. And on one hand, we need to find the money to meet these needs, and also we need to ensure that the money is spent wisely and to ensure that money actually gets to the people on the ground. Now, as it stands, there is a lot of debate about aid and a lot of money is being wasted, and I hear that argument. But if you look at $2.3 trillion that's been spent over the last 5 decades, that's about 46 billion per year. And according to the UN, we need something like $300 billion per year, or roughly 0.7% of their governments need to give 0.7% of their GDP in order to meet the needs.
So we need more money. How do you convince businesses to give it to you?
So first of all, just to give you the scale of the problem and the funding shortfall, we're about $150 billion short.
Right.
So it's a great privilege to be working with Sir James Mirrlees, and together we've devised this MA model, and we're just putting the finishing touches to it now. And as it stands, we need to first of all find a fair way to collect this money. So we're looking to businesses, wealthy individuals and offshore funds, trusts, see how we can collect the money. So we're proposing under our scheme for governments to match and therefore incentivise wealthier groups of people. So we're asking the wealthy to donate 1% of their income to this fund. Businesses are required to pay a minimum 1%. And we're looking for individuals who may want to support around 0.7% of their income. And so what it is, it's actually, I would say, giving 1% or less I think would be a pinch. But if everybody comes in, businesses, individuals, and offshore trusts and foundations, everybody comes together, we can find the sums that are needed.
What do you say to the argument that you must come up against? Look, I already, I'm a wealthy individual. I already pay 50% in tax. I give half my money away. I don't want to give any more.
Sure. I think the difference here, this is not a tax. This is a voluntary donation. And what's more needed is not just the incentivisation of doubling your money so that your money achieves twice as much. What's needed more is to actually prove and show that the money is working. So, and we have huge problems with aid, let's face it. We have, if you look at, for example, the 2007 aid budgets, if you look at the aid that was given from the Italian, the French, the German, the Japanese and the US budget, the top recipient of aid was Iraq. And so this is quite shocking, because only 0.25% of aid actually goes to the least developed countries. So, and you've got politically tied aid, defence tied aid. When you really sort of net it out, I mean, how much money is actually getting to the people? So one of the elements of the scheme is to build in an audit so that we can create a competitive environment for NGOs and aid agencies to come in and compete for this money. So, in essence, the top-performing organisations will be rewarded with more funds, and the failures will be dropped.
Because the donators know that it's doing its thing. It sounds like a big task, Renu. Thank you so much for coming in and talking to us about it. Thank you.